me know when you're ready to
Me
go.
too.
Oh,
And I clap it too.
All
I'm sorry,
righty.
what was that?
Oh, woo.
Oh, no. Editing, Ella, cut that.
Anyways, hi, y'all. Welcome back to Can I Be Mean for a Sec? This is Ella, and I'm here with my co host, Maggie.
Hello.
Today, we are discussing a very girly topic today. We are discussing clothes, something that I, this week, have been super passionate about, and not for the reasons that you think. We're discussing some of the fast fashion, some of sustainability, thrifting, but also just some of the brand policies that I've been running into recently and how it is no longer catering towards the consumer. So I've got a lot of things to say. Maggie's got a lot of things to say, and we'll just jump right in. Something that I have been really annoyed with basically my entire life, but more so as an adult. Standard sizing for brands, especially for women's clothing, are not consistent. I recently had an experience where I was in a store and I was trying on new pairs of pants because, I'm becoming more active. My body's changing. I'm in my late 20s now, which is really difficult for me to say. And I just needed new pants. And I tried on two of the same style of pants in two different sizes. One, just needing to know if I needed to size up or down. But I'm not talking like I tried on a small and a large to see if I needed a medium. No, like I tried on a medium, large, large, extra large just to see which one fit me better. And tell me why I tried on the smaller size and it being obvious a little too tight, and then trying on the larger size and it being the same size. I've also run into if I'm trying on pairs of jeans, the same size, the same fit, they don't fit the same way.
I know why that happens. And I know that because it happens to me all the time. I have worn the same size and style of jeans probably since like 8th grade. I own two pairs of jeans that I bought in the last year. One, because I was trying to branch away. Two, because the pair that I was replacing, I bought in 2018 and they ripped twice within a week in opposite spots, and I was wearing them for work and my mom was like, just buy a new pair, so I did. So I am very aware of the same pair of jeans does not fit the same, and it's because of the way that they make them. And so when they cut them, they basically stack a bunch of denim on top of itself, and then they put like one blade through it. Well, when you go to cut something like that, it kind of moves as it's cutting. So the ones on the bottom are going to be bigger than the ones on the top because it shifted and it's kind of squished out a little bit by the time the blade gets down to it. And so when you do that for every piece of fabric in the pants, they end up a slightly different size than the other ones. That's my fun little factoid. That's why that happens.
Is it really going to hurt these companies to cut their denim in smaller stacks so that doesn't happen? I understand an assembly line needs to move quicker, but why are we stacking that much fabric that the top portion and the bottom portion are that drastically different?
I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know that, like, I'm also talking about skinny jeans, so they're like very obvious, and I have like itty bitty little toothpick legs. Y'all can't see them, so you don't know, but I got teeny tiny little toothpick legs, and so that was always a concern. And then also just like I've got like weird ratios. I'm not built to be shopping, but
Yeah, I have the opposite issue. I did have toothpick legs when I was an itty bitty child, but I do have my parents' genes, so therefore, pun not intended. I've got larger legs. I've got larger quads. I was on the rowing team. I have naturally larger legs, and so I typically go for like the wider cut on jeans. Boot cuts are my favorite. The mom jeans, incredible. I recently got put on these Levi mom baggy shorts, I think is what they're called. And I've sized up, and then wear it with a belt just for my waist. But I love how baggy and how long they are. It is incredible. They are the best pairs of shorts that I own. I wear them everywhere, and now that it's getting closer to summertime, I can have my legs see the sun again.
I was a bootcut girly for like most of my childhood. I'm one of those people, like, because I have weird proportions. If I find like a pair of jeans that I can wear, if I find one place I can buy jeans, I'm just going to keep buying jeans there until for some reason I can't anymore. So when I was a kid, I had really long legs, but I was again a toothpick, and so I couldn't find jeans that were long enough that also fit around my waist. So I would have to go to Old Navy so that I could get the ones that had the adjustable elastic waistband on the inside. And I got those forever, and then I got to middle school and they didn't make those for my size anymore. So I had to do some exploring. So then I ended up at American Eagle, and I have been buying jeans there ever since. I got one pair of Lucky jeans in the last year, and those are cool, but I think they seemed longer when I bought them than I think they are now. So they feel a little bit short to me. But I don't know. I need to get more jeans, but I just have not yet. And now it's summer, and I also need to get more shorts because I only own one pair of denim shorts.
Yeah, I recently figured out that I don't own shorts anymore that are not athletic shorts, spandex for practice. I now have my one pair of denim shorts that I wear all the time. Actually, no, I take that back. I recently got a new pair of shorts from Lululemon that I don't know what the style is called, but they were a new style that came out. They are super comfy, super baggy, and long enough that I'm not getting any chafing between my legs. Great pair of shorts to be walking around in. I walked around all day at Disneyland with them. They are fantastic. But anyways, yeah, I had the same issue. I also grew up with the Old Navy 00 elastic waistband jeans or pants or shorts even growing up because I grew like a piece of bamboo. I grew so quick as a kid. I was taller than my mom at 10, 11 years old. I outgrew her shoe size around when I was 11 or 12. I grew so fast, and my poor parents had to go through so many clothes just because I was just growing so fast. Yeah, I miss the elastic waistband. I miss the way that those fit. I kind of wish that they get brought back in more of the adult sizes because like I prefer to size up for my legs and my hips, but then for my waist, I still need that cinch, and I don't always like to wear a belt. I recently learned that shoestring tie thing, or the shoestring tie hack for the backside of your shorts, where you only loop it through the back uh, three loops and then tie it in the back and not tie it in the front, so it's not tight around your stomach. Honestly, great hack for anybody that wants to try it. But yeah, bring back elastic waistbands. Those are great. And make it so much more accessible for people of different sizes and body types. Um, but I'm also curious to know, why aren't we enforcing more of a standard sizing across clothing brands in general? Why are mediums, larges, all different sizes across the different brands? And why can't we just have a universal setting? Or why do we not enforce a universal setting? It would just make it easier.
I have a couple thoughts. I don't know if any of them are real, but I have a couple thoughts. First, boy clothes just come in a lot fewer shapes than girl clothes, right? Like there's a lot less variety. So it's a lot easier to have things like standardly sized, whereas like in women's clothes, we've got all kinds of different shapes, so therefore we have all kinds of different sizes. So I feel like that's part of it. I personally don't super frequently run into that as an issue. I feel like I'm pretty consistently kind of in the same two sizes regardless of where I'm getting clothes, but I might just be kind of in the middle in general, unclear. So like I don't know, I think it really just comes down to like the diversity of like shape in clothes, right? So like cuz like I'm probably a smaller size if I'm getting a dress than I am if I'm getting pants. But then it's going to be an even smaller size if it's a loose dress versus if it's going to be a tight dress. But then like my pants might vary on size depending on, like, they'll vary in length, which that's something that I hate the women's pants don't do, is have like a variety of lengths. That's dumb. Boys can go out and be like, I'm just gonna buy these pants and I know they're the right size because I wear size length 83,000. I don't know. I don't know how their sizing works, but they go and they do that and they know it's gonna be the right length. And I can't do that. And I got these like really long legs. Like, Alex and I are the same height. My legs are longer than his. My torso is also somehow longer than his. I don't really know how that works. But my legs are longer than his. And I just don't. I think it's just because the clothes come in different shapes. And so it's harder to be standard. But I don't know. And I'm sure there's some sort of like generic standard. But I don't know what it is. I also think because the clothes come in different shapes, it can be the right size for like what, like you, but then like your body type is different, and so then it's not going to fit you the way that it's supposed to, and so then you have to get a different size to get it to fit you the way that like you want it to or the way that it's supposed to, but not necessarily because like the other size doesn't fit, it just doesn't fit right. Because you also can't like design everything for every body type. But again, because boy clothes basically come in box shape, it's really easy to just be like, do you fit inside small box? Do you fit inside big box? You are tube go in tube hole. Like, it's kind of like because you don't see this issue when you're looking like across sweatshirt brands or across like t-shirt brands. You're predominantly going to be the same size sweatshirt or the same size t-shirt. Now, if you're looking unisex versus women's style, again, that's different because like the cut, like the shape is different. So I think it's because our clothes have more diversity and variety because we're more open to fun. And that's not actually entirely true about why women's clothes are so different. There's a whole backstory to that too.
Men should have more variety in their shapes of clothes. Bring full fashion to men's clothing. Please give us more options.
We can blame the English for that one, from what I understand. English boarding school style heavily influenced some guy who became super powerful in like the men's fashion field, and he basically just really liked suits and ties, and so he somewhat single-handedly made it so popular in England, and it spread throughout the Western world, and now everything that men wear is just a box. I don't really know what fashion looked like before that, but
the poor men just look like a box the whole time. Come on, like let's add some variety to men's clothing. You know, show off your body shape. Like that's great. Feel more comfortable in your skin. Like guys can just wear a white t-shirt and jeans and call it a day. Come on, bring some variety.
At least put a flannel on with that. Color, shape, movement.
I saw a video one day that said, if it's not interesting by color, make it interesting by shape. If it's not interesting by shape, make it interesting by texture. And if it's not interesting by texture, make it interesting by color. And I have lived by that since I've heard that video. I think that that's such a great way to style your clothes, just to make an outfit look fun and interesting. And it's like, I love when someone is wearing something that I would never wear and they make it work. There is nothing that brings me more joy than seeing someone so confident in something that like is out of my comfort zone, because that just looks so cool, especially on other people. I'm working on it. I'm working on it personally, but I love seeing people out there wearing something I would never have thought of and just exploring with clothes. I think it's so fun.
Yeah, I'm not great about clothes and looking like a person. I'm getting better at it. It does not help that the majority, and when I say majority, I mean like I've probably bought like a pair of pants and like a few dresses, and otherwise the majority of what I own I've had since 2018 at the latest. I am currently wearing a pair of shorts that I probably got in middle school.
That's it. So that leads me to another thing.
That's fair. Yeah, that's true.
I love and hate having old clothes. I like shopping at thrift stores. I like one man's trash is another man's treasure. I do like it, especially in the thrift stores in my area. I find a lot of my basic t-shirts, a lot of my graphic tees from thrift stores. I find a lot
I
of,
I hate wearing other people's clothes.
well, I wash them. I
No,
wash
it
them at
doesn't.
least twice.
It does not matter. Friends, family, thrift stores, washed, unwashed. It feels something about it just does not feel right. I have two. I have a sweater and a sweatshirt that I got from my mom and my sister. And both of them, when I wear them, I still wear like a shirt underneath it because like it can't just be like directly. I don't know. I can't wear other people's clothes. I'm not a thrift store girly. Sorry, continue.
No, that's okay. But at least for to give you the credit is that when you buy your clothes, you buy them with intention and you actually wear them until they're raggedy. You're
Aforementioned
not
middle school shorts.
exactly. So you're not just going out buying something and then just completely getting rid of it, you know? Like a lot of people in fast fashion and it's not being sustainable with the way that they purchase clothes. But so yeah, I do really like thrift stores. I go there quite often. Again, lots of my graphic tees, anything that I work out in for a top is typically from a thrift store. I think 85% of my t-shirts are from thrift stores. Um, and then I only ever splurge or invest in name brand clothing when I know I'm going to be wearing them for a while. So I invest in my Nike sports bras. I invest in my Lululemon leggings and spandex because that's the only brand of clothing that I feel comfortable in when I'm working out in. Uh, with the exception of JL and the one-offs for rowing specific clothing. But I am a firm believer in if you're wanting something cheap, easy, and for like a one-off event, like this is how far in advance we record these episodes. It's currently Coachella weekend one going on in LA in California. So I see a lot of people are ordering a lot of fast fashion, a lot of cheap clothing just to wear it once with the intention of just throwing it away at the end of it. I understand that fast fashion brings a sense of affordability to a lot of people, but my personal issue with fast fashion is if you're not wearing them consistently and you're not wearing them like you would normal clothing, that's where it becomes a problem. And I would love to sit here on my high horse and say that I don't purchase from fast fashion. I do, but I do purchase them with an intent of wearing them until they break. They may break sooner than purchasing from a name brand, but I'll at least wear them as long as I can before I ultimately end up donating them. And I do donate all of my clothes that are not incredibly damaged.
Think about buying name brand versus not name brand. I just kind of buy what I like. I go shopping in person because of the aforementioned weird proportions. If I try to shop online, it's not going to work. I don't know if it's going to fit. I'm terrible about returning things on a good day. I'm even worse about returning things if they're going to be online. I bought a pair of shoes. I got a pair of shoes for my birthday as a birthday gift from my mom, and then they didn't fit right, so then I went out and I bought a different pair in person. My birthday was like 2 weeks ago. I have the shipping label from the company. I just have not printed it off and mailed the shoes out yet. I do need to do that like right now though. But yeah, I don't know. I like there are certain things that I like the name brand version better. I tend to find most things I like the name brand version better than the knockoff, but that's like a direct comparison. If I'm just getting something, I don't know if it's name brand per se, but like I'm going to get like whatever version and I'm going to have it and it's just going to be what it's going to be. And sometimes it's a fancy name brand. Like I have a pair of Ugg boots that I've had since middle school. Actually, I want to say 8th grade. I still have them. They're purple. They're sparkly. They're falling apart. I probably should get some new ones, but they still work. I just need them to keep, and I probably shouldn't get new ones. It doesn't get that cold usually here, but in Oklahoma, it was a different story. I still wear them all the time. If I think I'm going somewhere, my feet are going to get cold. If it is the middle of the winter and it's cold and I just need to like pop outside and walk the dog, I'm going to wear them. because I have them and I have worn them for years and I will wear them to death, and they have confused a bunch of boys because they thought sequins were invented when the little flippy sequins were invented, and that's not when sequins were invented. And I had to explain this to a lot of boys in high school. Actually not a lot of boys, just the same boys a lot of times. My Spanish class was a weird place. But yeah, like I don't know. I think all my workout clothes are name brand because I just like the way that they fit better. But I don't know. I mean, I guess whatever I have is probably name brand because again, I'll like go to the mall and I'll buy stuff. But yeah, I don't know. But then I'll like wear the crap out of it. So it doesn't matter. I do need some I maybe need to not be dressing like it's 2011 anymore. But
See, my problem is I overbuy hoodies. That is
yes.
my biggest vice.
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
saying yes as in you know this about me, or yes you also do the same?
Yes, I know this about you. Yes, I know this about. I don't do this. I discovered a crew neck sweatshirt and I have never ever looked back. I believe that I own 4 hooded sweatshirts. One of them I bought because I was really cold in New York City and I did not have a jacket with me, and that was the only sweatshirt I could find. One or no, 2 of them I got for free from being on the rowing team, and 5 because 2 of them are the same sweatshirt in different styles that I got for Christmas from my family for flying. They're the ones with the little built-in eye mask. Those are very cool. But bro, I have so much hair. Hoodies and I once in middle school wore the same hoodie for like a week and I ended up with like a giant tangle in the back of my hair. That was a pain to get out. And from that point, I've really wished they would make sweatshirts without hoods. And then when I found out that they make sweatshirts without hoods, game changer. You, on the other hand, live in a hoodie.
I live in hoodies year round. I even have my summer hoodies. I love hoodies with a passion. I donated, I want to say 12 hoodies just this calendar year alone. Most of them went to my friend because she's a small petite person and I have very large clothes and she loves to swim in them. Anyways, but I have very firm opinions on hoodies. This is my favorite style of hoodie. One, the hood doesn't have that weird peak when you put it up because it has 2 panels down the middle. And so the hood is very deep and it's flat across the head. And this is my favorite hoodie to sleep in. I sleep in hoodies. I know I'm a heathen. I sleep in hoodies, but I
Once again,
love
have not slept in a hoodie since middle school.
I think I started sleeping in hoodies in middle school and I just haven't grown out of it. But I sleep with a bonnet on, and this, for some reason, when I sleep with the hood up, keeps the bonnet on. It's great. Uh, but I also, even in the summer, I have thin hoodies that I sleep in, and will again keep the bonnet on. I'll sleep with my fan on, with my doors open. I I love hoodies. I live in hoodies. I have so many of them, and I've been continuing to purchase them for so long that I've had to go through all my full collection of hoodies. One of these days I'll actually count them out. And have to decide how big is this emotional attachment to this hoodie for me to keep it. I just donated so many. I need to go through again and donate them again. I have crew necks. I don't wear them, but I have them. Uh I take them back. I wear them on occasion, but there is a correct occasion to wear a crew neck, and that is when I want to be warm and still want to be comfortable, but a hoodie's too comfortable.
That doesn't make any sense.
Actually, my favorite crew neck sweatshirt is from a thrift store that I got in 2019. It is a Hanes men's double XL plain gray crew neck. Hanes makes the best crew necks, in my opinion. But my opinion's apparently wrong compared to yours. So
I don't know that I have a Hanes crew neck. I don't know. My favorite is my Oklahoma State one, but it's like an extra large or something, so it's gigantic. That's one of the ones I got from my mom and my sister. I do wear that that's a sweatshirt I wore for 3 days earlier this week. But it's good. It's comfortable. It's large. It's very soft. It's not Hanes though. It might be. I don't think it's Hanes. Anyways,
my
a lot of
biggest
my other ones are comfort colors.
my biggest thing with wearing crew necks over hoodies, I like a good crew neck. I think I'd wear them more often if they had the big pocket in the front. I live for the big pocket in the front. I love carrying
Me and the
everything
big pocket aren't
in the
friends
big
anymore.
pocket. What do you mean anymore?
I don't know. I liked the big pocket when I was a kid, but I'm not a kid. I just don't like it anymore. I like that it's just a shirt, but it's warmer. Like that's all I want. I don't want all of the encumbering. I don't want like the pockets and the hoods it's so much easier. Like if I need to put on a coat, my coat has pockets and I just put it on and then it's like, it's just a shirt, but it's a bigger shirt. It's just a shirt, but it's warmer. That's it. That's all I need. I don't need anything fancy. I don't need anything fancy. I'm gonna go be doing things. I don't need this like pocket popping out and in my way. I don't need like this thing getting caught up because then I have to do my hair. And usually my hair is up anyways. This is an anomaly. But I have to do something with my hair. And now my hair is long enough that even if I put it in a ponytail, it's still just gonna be on the hood the whole time, causing all kinds of problems. This way, everything is just like out of it's just a shirt. It's just a shirt. That's all I need. I just need a shirt that's warm. That's all I need.
I'm just a simple girl.
I have simple needs. Like even one of the hoodies that I have, one of the rowing hoodies. I have a different rowing hoodie that I have that I really like, that or not hoodie, a rowing sweatshirt. And I'll wear that one over the other one. You've seen me do it 1,000 times. It makes me look like a basketball player. I don't know what that means, but I know that I know what I mean. And like that covers the pocket, so I don't have to worry about like the pocket being in the way. So yeah, I have the hood and the stuff and the little dingly doodads, but like pocket. I don't have the pocket. And so it's not getting caught on anything. I'm not like putting stuff in it, because then also like if I put something in it, then it like pulls it down and then it's like all wonky. And it's just a shirt, friend. It is just a warm shirt, and that's all I need. I'm cold and I need a shirt that's warm, and it's a warm shirt. It's a warm shirt.
So the clothing that I have kept the longest, mostly being my hoodies. Again, I've kept them so long. They are the one article of clothing that have just held up over the years. I think my oldest hoodie that I have still kept is from 2017. It's a hoodie I got on my recruiting trip for college. And I still have it. I have a very emotional tie to that sweatshirt. I love it so much. But something about hoodies in general, different brands across the board, different styles, they last so long. I even have one of my dad's old Tommy Hilfiger hoodies from, I want to say the 2010s, early 2000s. And
the way you said old, shape. I thought you were going to say like the 80s.
No.
Like the emphasis you put on old, I thought we were like bouncing back. I guess the 90s was 30 years ago. You could be the 90s, but like the way you said old, I thought we were like pre-smartphone old.
Yeah, I don't know how old this sweatshirt is. It's an old style. I've never seen anyone wear this style or even just this Tommy Hilfiger sweatshirt in general. So I'm calling it old because it's before my recollection of time. So again, they last so long. And that's what I wish that other clothing brands lasted this long with affordability in mind. So going back to my workout gear, my Nike sports bras that I wear religiously, most of them that I still have today are from college. They still fit, they still work, but the elastic is slowly wearing down. I recently
Mine are still
purchased
from middle school.
So I recently got new ones for my birthday just to retire some of them. They are at this point 6 years old. I wear them basically every day. They needed to be retired at this point. And I have my Lululemon leggings and spandex that again I wear religiously to work out in. I think I have like 8 pairs of spandex and 4 pairs of leggings from Lululemon that I just am on rotation with. But what really sucks, Lululemon in particular used to have a fantastic policy with their clothing. And that was if at any point it got damaged, is running too like the fabric's running too thin, something needs to be repaired, you could bring it into a Lululemon store and they'd either repair it in-house or ship it off to get repaired somewhere else, patched, and then return to you. And so long as you were a part of their membership program or their rewards program where you just sign up with your email, you're not paying anything monthly. And that was such a great policy. My sister and I, through middle school, high school, had these old leggings and different shorts that we've taken in to get repaired, sent back. Great. We still have them to this day. I bought a pair of spandex, I want to say like 8 months ago. The quality of Lululemon has just slowly gone downhill, that I'm noticing more and more issues with my spandex, issues with my leggings where they're tearing in certain places. I have the leggings with the pockets on the side, or excuse, the leggings and shorts with pockets on the side. This particular story revolves around these shorts with the pockets. And the pockets are really just meant for your phone, a credit card, a single key. Like you're not stuffing a water bottle in those pockets. But it's simple enough that if I'm out on a walk or something, I can just slide my phone in there. And I don't have a very large phone. It's, typical smartphone. I go in and the pocket started to rip on the seam on the side, like it was getting pulled apart and overstretched. So I take it into Lululemon. I said, hey, can you guys repair this? It's a unique color. It was a seasonal color. I have a matching top to go with it. I'd like for it to be repaired. And they said that they don't do that anymore. And I was absolutely heartbroken. And so they offered just to replace it. Okay, I replaced it just with a black pair, but now I don't have the matching set like I like. And asked them when they got rid of this policy. They got rid of their policy, I want to say it was 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, that they got rid of this policy. And they changed it so that it's no longer a repair program, but a replacement program. But the replacement program is you had to have bought it within 365 days to get it replaced. And I don't necessarily want it to be replaced, but what happened to these brands not taking care of the consumer in mind, right? Lululemon having this repair program was so great and super sustainable for everybody. And if something couldn't be repaired and them staying to their word and replacing it, that, it's a last ditch effort to keep the customer happy, and which is great. I don't want to throw away something that can be repaired. I can learn to repair it myself, and I'm going to start needing to, because I don't want to have to throw these away just because, the pocket ripped. It's still a functioning pair of shorts, just without a pocket. Not the end of the world, but I don't want to throw it away if it can be repaired. And like bring back good policy for clothing.
I don't know. I mean, I get it both ways. You have something for, 10, 15 years. You do something stupid, you will break it, you ruin it, whatever, you take it in. Like I'm all for repairing stuff. R.I.P. my favorite backpack of all time. That's a whole different story. Also, like, they need people to come buy things, and I'm not shocked. I've never necessarily thought of them as like a particularly socially positive company, but I've never thought of them as necessarily socially negative. I don't know. I got my first anything from them probably 2018, so not that long ago in the grand scheme of my fashion decisions. I don't know. I think it's decent quality. I have a pair of leggings that have a little hole in them, but I think that's just because I sat on a piece of glass. So I don't think that it's really, I don't think it's, I don't know. I don't really care. I find that policy to be unique amongst clothing companies. I does not really concern me in the slightest. Never even crossed my mind. Never even thought about it. I didn't even know that was a thing. I know people had said it was a thing or something like that, but yeah, I have no, it means nothing to me personally.
Companies just don't take care of their customers anymore, and it's just kind of sad.
Well, I mean, that is still taking care of you. Like the majority of clothing companies, you buy clothes from them. Like if this is truly a no questions asked, something happens, you bring it in, we're going to swap it out within a year of you getting it. That's a really, really, really good policy. Most companies don't have that policy. Most companies don't have that policy for things that are manufacturer defects. That's a great policy for clothes, especially because you do all kinds of things in clothes, and you do all kinds of things in their clothes. That's a fabulous policy for a clothing company. It's not as good as the old one, but it's a fabulous policy, and it's a similar policy to a lot of other companies. North Face, at least used to, I assume they still do, had a similar policy with their bags. If there was damage to it, you could send it in and they would repair it. If they couldn't repair it, you could choose either for them to send it back to you unrepaired or for them to replace it. And then if they can't replace it because it's like they don't make that style, they don't make that model, they don't make that color, whatever anymore, they'll send you a gift card of equivalent value for you to go out and buy a replacement. Patagonia does something similar. They also have a trade-in program for used. I assume North Face has the same thing, but I don't know about that. I know Patagonia has a trade-in program for lightly and heavily used things. You can trade them in. You get a certain amount of like credit back that you can use to buy something new. Cotopaxi does the same thing. And then for Cotopaxi, they'll resell the used stuff that's not super damaged. So like my backpack that got eaten by a squirrel, they're not really going to do anything with that, but I could send it back and they'll find some, like whatever they can reuse of it, they will, but they won't resell it because it has a giant hole in the bottom because it got eaten by a squirrel. So like this is like a fairly common, I mean, they can't, especially clothes are going to develop issues when they get worn. That's just a fact. I mean, this sweatshirt, I already have a bunch of like, I patch up the sleeves on all my sweatshirts. I have one that I've had since 2017 and the cuffs have almost fallen off like 4 times and I just like reattached them. It had a hole in the armpit that got fixed. I think this one might have had a hole in the armpit that I fixed. The other one, I think it developed holes around the collar too. I fixed those. I have a pair of jeans. Actually, I think both pairs of jeans that I have. Maybe just one. I had one though. I was wearing them at work and I snagged them. I worked at Logan's Roadhouse. Don't recommend, but I snagged them on the barrel for the silverware and there was like a loose nail and it tore a hole in the middle of my jeans, so I like patched it up, and then my manager was like, why do you have like a snag on your jeans? And I said, well, I snagged it here and I fixed it, so you're just gonna live with it. Yeah. So I mean, that is a good take care of your people policy, I have to say. Comparatively, like that's a good policy. I don't know that I would like it's not as good as the old one, and you can be annoyed that it's not the old one, but that's still a really good policy for a clothes company.
I am annoyed that it's not the old one. So again, I'm salty that I don't have my seasonal color to match my top that I also bought as a set.
If it was just ripping at the seam, you could have just kept it and fixed it. It's just serged together.
That's just something I don't know how to do, and that's a skill set that I'm going to have to learn, and I don't have the resources nor the time at this moment to learn said skill. So
yes, you could also just take it to a tailor and be like, hey, can you fix this? And they can fix it for you. Won't be free, but it'll be cheaper than buying a new pair of shorts, and you still have your color. Just for future reference. Because it's just a serging machine, and some regular sewing machines can do a serge stitch, but some of them can't. Most of them can't. So you'd have a separate serging machine. That's why you would take it to like a tailor, or like if you have a friend who does like intense sewing, but I know that you don't.
I do. They just don't live in my city nor my state. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's, again, not as good as their old policy, but it's a good policy. Better than I would have expected. Honestly, both of those policies are better than I would have expected from them as a brand. They don't stand out to me as like a positive brand. Do I own things from them? Yes. Do I think of them as like a notably positive or a notably non-problematic company? No.
No, I know all of the discourse with them as a brand, but it is the
No, I don't.
one
I only know a little bit.
it is the one athletic brand that is consistent for me in the way that their styles fit me and the way that they feel on my body, and it's the only thing that works for me as a taller, somewhat larger than average person. Obviously, they're not the best in size inclusivity and can be on the and can skew towards the smaller size.
I think they're actually a lot better about that now.
They're getting better, but they can be in a much better place. But again, it's just the one, and I almost exclusively wear their spandex and leggings.
Oh, you don't have to
work out.
defend yourself.
But
I love they're very comfortable. They're
Oh, no,
very
no,
comfortable.
I'm just saying that they are just, for me personally, they are just the only brand that work well for me. It's just
Yes, and
what
it's
I'm
crazy
getting at,
comfortable.
but-
I'm 100% down. That's my unpopular opinion. It doesn't really matter all that much where you get your stuff from. They're not any worse of a company than Nike or Under Armour, or and neither of them are particularly any worse than any of the off-brand companies are. Probably it's all the same thing. As they say, it's turtles all the way down. It's all going to be the same. To find something that's so far afield from that is going to be very difficult. It's all the same thing. They've got good clothes. I like them. They're comfortable. I wear them. I wear them every time I go to the airport. Every single time. I have 2 pairs of their leggings. They're my favorite thing. I wear them all the time.
Speaking of just like airport clothes, I once told our friend Ben that because we were meeting at the airport, I said, "Oh wow, you get to see me in my airport clothes." He goes, "What's airport clothes?"
No, okay, so the first week, so when I was in Phoenix and I was leaving, we weren't going to the office on Friday, and so it's like, oh, okay, cool. Then I don't have to wear like my work clothes. I'll just wear my airport clothes because we're just gonna go straight. Like we'll meet in the hotel and then we'll go straight to the airport. And he goes, "Wait, do you have like a fixed airport outfit too, like Ella?" And I was like, "Yeah, kind of." And he was like, "'Cause she has like a like exact." And I was like, "Well, yeah. I mean, like I always wear leggings and I wear like these socks and these shoes and." I had a designated pair of socks that I wore every time I flew, and I don't anymore because it's only one pair of socks, and I would fly twice a week, and I don't wear dirty socks. I do not wear dirty socks. Like, if it's been worn, it does not get put back on my feet until it's been washed. If it comes out of the wash crusty, it goes back in again. Because sometimes you like wash stuff and then it just doesn't come out right.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever done that? Have you ever had like a t-shirt that you like wore in really well and then you like washed it and then it just didn't come out right and then you didn't wear it for like months? Because I have one of those. When
we lived together at Boyd House, something was up with the washer and the Tide Pods that we kept, and the Tide Pods would melt to one specific pair of pants, and that is when I had to stop using Tide Pods. And not using Tide Pods in college, so lame, so easy to use Tide Pods in college. But anyways, the plastic would melt to only a specific pair of sweatpants, and it pissed me off.
I've heard that it has just to do with either like the amount of water that's being used or like the temperature of the water being used. Or like my sister will do quick wash on her clothes like every time, and then her pods constantly don't get like fully dissolved. We don't use Tide Pods. We have like powdered. I don't know that it's really good, but like it's fine. That's good. It doesn't get stuck on anything. I enjoy it. Don't fly halfway across the country with a jar of laundry powder if you're gonna have to go through TSA with that bag. Ask me how I know.
Oh my god.
The TSA agent will ask you why you did that.
I mean,
nothing happened. We didn't get like detained or anything. They just had to like, as we've heard before, I get flagged every time I go to the airport. My mom's asking me for airport advice for our trip this weekend or next weekend, or we're going on a trip. And when we go on that trip, she has to go through the airport and she doesn't really fly. So she's asking me like all this information about the airport. And I'm like giving her like tips and stuff about TSA. And I'm like, you should be fine. You're not supposed to get flagged. Like, I haven't been flagged for any of this. I've been flagged for a bunch of other things, but none of this.
Ugh.
So,
I think I have beaten this dead horse a little too much about my clothes. Do you have anything else to add?
I have thoughts. I think that people need to be less uppity about their clothes. Like, not so much like, well, actually I have a couple thoughts on this. First, we're going to have to reorder this a little bit because this is going to be, we'll figure it out. Editing Ella, sorry in advance. But I read this article for class in middle school, and I have thought about it probably at least once a month, every month since. I talk about this all the time, and if I don't, I should talk about it more. And it was about the casualization of America. And I would like to preface this because I'm going to reference things that Europeans might say. And I want to preface this with, I could not care less what Europeans have to say or think about us, to be clear. But there's this thing that you hear a lot from Europeans on the internet, and that you see a lot of when people are trying to compare Americans versus Europeans or what have you. And it's this idea that Americans don't care how they look. Americans don't care how they dress. Europeans always look nice, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. They wear real clothes out of the house. Americans wear pajamas, right? First of all, I very rarely see people in pajamas outside of the house. Maybe at a Walmart, but I have not been to a Walmart in so long. I don't go to random Walmarts. And notably, Walmarts in North Carolina are not my home Walmarts out in Norman, Oklahoma. I'm not about that. I went to Walmart for the first time. I've been to Walmart, I think, twice in the, like, what, two years that I've lived here. Yeah, I don't go to Walmart. But I'll occasionally see people in like pajamas at Walmarts or whatever. And it's not every Walmart. It's specifically like the Walmarts that you don't want to go to, or where you're going to see the things that you don't want to see. Like, I don't go to the Walmart by my house, and for good reason. And it has nothing to do with what people are wearing. That's just probably a side effect of what type of Walmart it is. Or like people would wear specifically, and I don't know where anybody ever got these, but specifically fluffy Cookie Monster pajama pants to school. In like middle school and high school. But even in college, like, as much as we're all wearing sweats to class, we're not wearing pajamas. People are like, oh my God, Americans wear pajamas to the airport. What airports have you been going to? Because I've been to like a lot of them. And I don't see people in pajamas. I see people in sweatpants. Now, rolling it back a little bit, hard agree. I think that we need to be dressing like people when we go out in public more. I think it's kind of fun. It gives me a fun little confidence boost. It makes life feel a little bit less dull and sad, right? Like, I think people need to care about what they look like. However, again, counterpoint, and feel free to jump in anytime, because I also know that I read your friend's notes, and I'm not trying to go monologuing here, but also I'm totally going monologuing here. Anyways, counterpoint, Americans do care about how they look. They just care about how they look differently, right? So, like, again, you see these people online, namely Europeans, and they're like, Americans are just wearing their gym clothes out in public. They don't care what they look like. No, some people work out in the clothes that they wear out in public, right? But most of the time, these workout clothes are not to be worked out, and these workout clothes are what you wear out. Like, you're wearing it to be seen like that. It's matchy. It's expensive. It fits well. It's clean. There's no stains. It's all done up just right because you're showing off. If you're wearing like schlubby painting clothes, you're probably going to the hardware store because you ran out of something while you're painting your house or something. But like, you're wearing like nice fitted, like, there's a difference, and you can tell that there's a difference. We just have a different vibe that we're going for. That being said, again, hard agree. I think that we need, and I am culprit number one of does not look like a human when she leaves the house. And I try really hard. But it's also kind of hard when you have the whole middle school wardrobe as a 26-year-old woman. You know, everyone's like, when you buy clothes, you should keep them. You don't need to replace your jeans, your whatever, every year all the time. No, you don't need to replace them every year. But like, maybe if you've had something for over a decade, maybe you're allowed to like do something new, right? Sustainability queen over here. Not really, but a little bit. Anyways, so hard agree that we should be trying to care about what we look like in public, but also hard disagree that athleisure is inherently not caring about what you look like in public. Because also, you see the girlies out there like that, they've done their hair. You ain't catching me doing my hair. They've put on makeup. You are really not catching me doing my makeup. I don't even own makeup. I don't even own any makeup. They've got their nails like they're put together. That's what it's all about. We just have a culturally different
There's a huge difference between someone who has obviously slept in their pajamas, got out of bed to then go about their day in said pajamas, versus someone who's put on clean clothes to then go on about their day. You can still choose to be comfy. You can still choose to be in the athleisure, look good, slim fit kind of outfit. I care about the way that I'm perceiving you is clean clothes. What those clothes are, couldn't care less. I am a professional rage baiter when it comes to one of my friends and wearing my pajamas out in public. I do this on purpose to piss her off because it is really, really funny. But if I am wearing my pajamas out in public, they are clean. I'm going before 10 a.m. to either the grocery store super quick to get coffee or breakfast and come home.
You get out of your car in your pajamas. I know you do this because anytime that I've been out there visiting you and I've asked, oh, are we getting out of the car? And you say yes. And I'm like, okay, hold on, let me put on pants. And you're like, no, that's fine. No, it's not. You are the problem, not me. I'm not the problem. You're the problem. That's like, and also 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is crazy. What do you mean until 10 a.m.? Maybe if it's before 7. Maybe if it's before 7. The only time you will catch me dead outside of my house in my pajamas is one of two scenarios. The first, I am taking my dog to go potty outside. That's it. Right outside my house. There is a 3 apartment unit buffer zone from my house to the end to the little corner where our building. That space, nowhere else. Or I am inside of my car and I am not getting outside of my car. That is it. Those are the two instances. I can't you go out in public in pajama pants. Not like sweatpants, not like I'm just wearing, but like legit pajama pants. That's obscene. Obscene. Yeah.
But also it's really funny because you were not the friend I was referring to.
I know I'm not the friend you were referring to. I don't know what friend you were referring to. I know it's not me. I don't know who it is, but I'm on her side.
To be fair, a lot of the times that I'm going somewhere in my pajamas, I'm not getting out of the car. But on the off chance I do, I don't care. So
I care. I can't be seen in my pajama pants outside. And then since I've moved here, so in Oklahoma, I didn't really see this. And I don't know if it's just a thing or if it's because of the wind or what it is. But I have not seen growing up, and maybe it's different now. I haven't lived there in 2 years, but I was not exposed to the concept of the casual dress. We did not have a casual dress. You just wore pants. You wore nice pants, but you wore pants. If you went to church, you wear your church dresses or whatever. But we didn't have the casual dress. You weren't going to just see people in dresses at the grocery store. And since I've moved here, I have been exposed to the concept of the casual dress. People are wearing dresses at the grocery store. And then I show up to the grocery store and my leggings and my or my sweatshirt. And I'm I feel schlubby at the grocery store. Granted, I don't go to Walmart, but I feel schlubby at the grocery store. it's not even like it's that different, but it's just different enough here that like it's like I and then like if I'm gonna leave the house, I tell Alex, I'm like, oh, I gotta hold on, I gotta go change. We're gonna go do this thing, whatever. And he's like, you're fine. And I'm like, no, we're gonna like go do this thing. I need to at least be wearing like jeans. I need on like a real shirt. And then we'll try to go somewhere like the makerspace so I can go do like stained glass or whatever. And then he's like, do you not want to change? And I'm like, no, I can wear my like grubby work clothes to go do grubby work stuff. I'm not going out. It's different. It's a warehouse, Alex. So he tries to be supportive, but I don't know that he gets the vibe. But I am 100% for not wearing freaking pajamas out in public. And I was out here bragging on us, saying I don't even know people who do that, and you're out here being people who do that. I forgot you're people who do that.
I don't do it that much anymore. No. I am just all right, I'm throwing on my sweatpants and then leaving the house, but
I need coffee. I'm not drinking coffee today. I need to drink coffee on Monday. I have too many things I need to do.
Yeah, we've got a busy day. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. This has been Can I Be Mean for a Sec? Maggie has definitely been meaner to me than other days, but
it's because you told me you wear pajamas out in public. I forgot about that. You should have kept that quiet. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe. We also have an Instagram and a TikTok page where you can keep up with us to make sure that you aren't missing any new episodes. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening. We will see and talk to you next week.
Have a day.